All right. Thank you, Creator, Heavenly Father. Thank you. Thank you for my opportunity that you've given me once again to try to do my best to redeem the time to be a light while I am in this reality, to try to bless my brethren while I'm in this reality, to try to share. Hey, Ace and F. Good to see you, sister. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. Thank you, Creator, for the inspiration to try to do something like this and reach out to like minded brethren and sisters and to say something based on the things that you have shown me in my life. Thank you for giving me the wherewithal, giving me the means whereby I can just try to do the best I can to operate in my highest understanding for the good of my brethren, my spiritual brethren, and anyone else who is trying to redeem the time in the present reality. Creator, pray you bless this video, give me words to speak, and that I would do it to the highest of my ability. I'm asking in sincerity and truth and with all humility. I pray the same blessing upon all who would hear the video, that they wouldn't hear me, but that they would hear you. And if you will be pleased, then I will rejoice and give thanks. And so, brethren, thank you for joining me. My name is Yaquab Ben Yisrael, and welcome to my channel where I try to talk about the Creator, plain and simple. I'm a faithist, oralite, spiritualist, whatever. I'm even a Vedic. Is that the word? Vedic? Or the Brahmin people, they were called. I learned the other day in the video that I read, or the video I was featuring, how faithists, I mean, we're called by different names. Hey, Elijah, brother, Creator EOE be with you as well. Thanks for joining me on this Friday, Sabbath for many brethren. Thank you for joining me. So, Creator, or we have many different names, faithists, but it all boils down to a people that the Creator uh, is raising up in this day and age. In the Bible, it's an interesting thing. I hope I'm not mistranslating it, but in the Bible, it says a verse. I haven't really studied it, but let me see if I can share it and see if it's talked about faithists. Shall call his people by another name, King James Version. Now, it may be, I hope I'm not mistranslating, but I think it's interesting to this verse in Isaiah. He talks about a time coming, he's going to call his people by another name. Now, when I was in Hebrew Israelites, actually, I don't remember what the understanding was when I was with the Hebrew Israelites about this verse here, but it seems that I used to always think, well, does that mean that he's going to no longer call us Israelites, and he was going to call us by some other name? And as it turns out, I don't know if that's 100% correct understanding, but it sure has a ring to it, a ring of truth. It says, Isaiah 65:15, it says, and ye shall leave a name for a curse unto my chosen. For the Lord shall slay thee and call his servants by their name. Now, if I was on this side of my understanding of all things OAHSPE, on this side of my spirituality, my understanding, I would say he is left the Hebrew Israelites for a curse. Now, I could be wrong, and that he shall slay thee, because Israelites are faithists originally, really. And I think that in this day and age, that the quote unquote Hebrew Israelites have taken our lineage unto themselves. They see themselves as the literal 12 tribes based on their lineage, that it is talking about them. But they don't know the OAHSPE Bible also mentions the Israelites, and these are faiths of all nations, all people. And it's an incredible thing that the Creator, He allows that deception, and it's a really strong deception. It says, you shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. And again, in my mind, that's talking about the Hebrew Israelites. Their name is going to be left for a curse unto my chosen, the faithless. For the Lord shall slay thee. And I think that he's speaking of their doctrine, that he will slay your doctrine. I don't think that the Creator is anything about slaying anybody. So I think he's using the language here to say that he's going to put an end to the falsehood that the Hebrew Israelites, and I point them out because they have taken on a name that they are alive, but they are dead. And that alone reminds me of that verse in Revelation where it says, it says, now I could be wrong, but it says, thou hast a name that thou livest, but thou art dead. King James Version in Revelation. Now, again, I just think it's ironic. These verses are coming to my mind. It says, unto the angel of the church in Sardis, write these things, he that saith the seven spirits of God and seven stars. I know thy works, that thou hast a name, that thou livest and art dead. Actually, you could say that about Christianity too. Primarily Christianity. He's writing to the church in Sardis. And I don't have the full understanding of why he's putting that in there, but it seems to represent a location. It mentions seven spirits of God and seven stars. And then he says, I know thy works, that thou hast a name that thou livest and art dead. And from my perspective, my corner of the world is talking, the first thing that comes to my mind, well, anyone who says that Christianity has many names. Thou hast a name that thou livest and are dead. And really, Protestantism, you can include that. It has a name that it lives. Baptist, Lutheran, any type of man worshiping fellowship where they follow the doctrines of the individual that was born of a woman. I think all these verses of condemnation really are specifically pointing at them. And specifically, thou shalt leave thy name. You shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. And faithist, which anyone could be a faithist, which is the beautiful thing. Anybody could be a faithist. All nations, everybody. It means it's someone who's attained to the voice of being able to hear the Creator. We talked about that in the video. Looking at the story of Hog, the son of YouTube and Brahma, we learned a really beautiful lesson, man. We learned about the example of unbelief. We learned about how the Creator is able to. He took a king's proud and humble and showing him an example that applied to him, and he can do the same. He does it all the time in our reality. Dave, brother, thank you for joining me, man. Thank all y'all for joining me. I really appreciate. I want to let you, brother, know how much I appreciate being able to have fellowship with you, brethren. I want to let you know that I don't take that sort of thing for granted. Really have to thank the Creator for the opportunity to, have a ministry where I have fellowship with brethren, especially like-minded brethren. So again, what I'm pointing out here, Revelation, thou hast a name, thou livest and art dead, and Isaiah, and you have a name that I wouldn't leave it for a curse to my chosen and call my people by another name. I just really think it's interesting. It's really, to me, interesting the way a lot of verses in the Bible, they have a different meaning to me right now. I seem to see the pattern in the way the Creator works, and I think all of our lives, if you paying attention, if you pay good attention, you can see how the Creator, He weaves He weaves your life. He weaves it. He strings it together. You know, and so that when you get to that point where you look back and you say, you see how He has worked. I remember all the endless Bible studies I sit in, and oh man, all the confusion and the ignorance, but you were able to become familiar. You became somewhat familiar with the scripture, you know, and then you learn a little bit, you get a bit of understanding about it, familiarity with it, and the Creator all that time, He's preparing you for when He's going to open up the real meaning, the hidden meaning that you didn't have for all those years. Excuse me. At least that's the way it worked in my life. You know, I couldn't understand the reason for this. It seemed like for me, it seemed like a road to nowhere, man. The Bible, for the longest time, I just knew that, you know, just a long road to nowhere. I'm sitting here in these Bible studies. I didn't like spiritualizing the scripture. I knew that, first it was Christianity, then the Hebrew Israelites were a little more literal, and that helped me out. And now I've gotten to the OAHSPE, and it's like the Creator has exploded everything. And then you can look back and say, man, I was on a journey. I didn't really know it. And now He done brought me to a point where all those years I was eating liver. Now He's bringing out cream cake, to eat, dessert. And now it was all worth it. And so now He also prepared you to endure. You can, in your life now, when you lay the foundation. And me, I don't like to work, man. I never like to work, and I've done construction, and I've seen what goes into building a foundation and the digging deep, and you got to grade it and level the land, and you got to reinforce it, and you got to get the materials together, and then you got to survey it, and you got to, prepare it, man. You got to cut wood, you got to lay brick, you got to lay concrete, Now, that's enough to kill Yaquab right there, man. When you talk about all that work, if I'm a brother that used to just barely be able to cut the grass, if my brother is listening, you remember that big yard we had? Front yard on Overview Lane in Cincinnati? Big front yard, big backyard. And that about killed me, man. And then Pops, he got that riding lawnmower that made life bearable. But still, man, I mean, I don't know how I made it out of that time in my life, but when it comes to building the foundation and all that work with the Creator, if you make it past, if you get past it, that's when all the rejoicing come in, you know, that's when all the rejoice, you say, man, I didn't think I would make it. I made it. And now it's like all downhill now. He done gave me some overstanding. I don't have to be told to rejoice now. I ain't got to be told, I do it naturally. I naturally want to pray, and not for myself, but other people, you know, pray for other people. You got that opportunity. And we read in the story of Hog where the Creator said He honored that. The place from where your prayer come from, that's how He's going to answer it. If it's for you, then you're going to be answered for, it's like if it's a selfish type of, you praying selfishly, for yourself, Creator, please give me the lottery number, that type of thing. It ain't going to go no higher than the top of your head. it ain't going to go nowhere. But when you, in sincerity and truth, you consider a brother, he's going through something, and you pray for them, then the Creator, he said he honored that. Remember, that's the prayer that Brahman, that he said, and the Creator said his was heard because of the place to where it came from. So, you lay that foundation, and everything else, if you make it, if you get through it, all the boredom, all the misunderstanding, the mistakes that you make, and the sin that you is so easily besets us, like the Bible says, if you make it through all that, it's downhill. You get to the point where it's downhill, man. The things that you learn now, it's like it's second nature. To pray, to meditate, to examine yourself, to be your own most critical judge, all of that. And that's you see the beauty of the Creator. Now you on autopilot. You on autopilot towards nirvana. You're on autopilot, whether here in the body or in the spirit. Now, see, your soul is on autopilot now. You got a desire to learn. You got a track record of forsaking the world. You see that you spiritual. Don't mean that you know everything, but you on autopilot now. You brethren are on autopilot, man. Now I named the title of the video Art. This is the reason why Jesus is super dangerous, and I'm gonna bore a lot of you brethren. The things I'm gonna talk about tonight. I mean, it's like y'all just gonna keep yawning and yawning and yawning and yawning. And I'm doing it because I talked to a brother today. He comes by, he likes to check up on me, and he seems to have a spiritual bent. I don't know if he's listening. Art, if you're listening, make yourself known. That would be a big favor for me. Or if you come in later, I want to, I told him to check in and listen in because I was going to talk to him about what I've been trying to talk to him about. And so that's why I named the title of the video Art. This is why Jesus is, or whatever I put down, is dangerous or something like that. And so all of you brethren, if you wanted to take the night off, it's, you know everything that I talk about anyway. You brethren, you have more, knowledge and certainly experience in the OAHSPE than I do, but I'm just letting you know, I'm going to read from the book of Book of Spirit, chapter, I think it's 8, 9, and 10, and however long the time let me go to minister to this brother in hopes that he's listening. I asked him to listen in, and he came over, and he didn't have time really for me to go into all of it. We've been talking for a long time, and so I'm going to try to minister to him, and then after the brother, Art, after you left, a thought came to my mind, about, I remember being in the Bible study, and that brother, the brother who was an ordained faithist, he said, man, he learned after a period of time, he can't teach nobody. If it ain't in you, then you can't teach them. I don't want to sound harsh, but if it ain't in you, I can't tell you nothing. All I can do is open up a book and read stuff. But if the anointing ain't within you to receive it, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. All I know is that this inclination, this vibration I got on me, for some reason, I read certain words, and if they're spiritual, I get plugged into it. If if it resonates with me, I can't help it. I think it's the same way with faithists, with spiritual brethren. It's like we each get something to eat out of these words. These words are only symbols, and they produce, a miracle within us. They just, the words, the symbols, these things are just images that the Creator uses in art. All I can show you, brother, is images. But if it ain't in you, I can't help you. I can't. Some brethren, they have this ability to reach other brethren. They can form their words in such a way that it carries an extra heavy anointing on them. I shouldn't say this, but I don't think that about myself. I just try try to show you where things are written, and that's pretty much about it. You got to take it from there, you know. So bear with me. I'm gonna get into the reading at 5 at the top of the hour. Right now, I'm gonna finish doing what I normally do on video: do a little monologue, give it a little information, you know, go through some verses, try to bless brethren with things. And the biggest thing in my life that the Creator has given me, and it's still kind of a miracle to me, is I approached him the wrong way, demanded, "Hey, Nazarene, brother, still can't get over that little girl video, man. Really, that's gonna stick with me a long time." So lately, uh, I've been sharing about the biggest answer to a request recently that I had with the Creator, asking him, basically complaining that I'm not satisfied with the speed of my learning. I approached the Creator. I pretty much just busted into the throne room. It's like a busting into the, just out of frustration, wanting some results, and I got answered. I I mean, it was most obvious, one of the most unmistakable things in my spiritual life that I have done, where I did see an answer. You know, where it was not of me that I came up with this idea. It was not me. I'm firm on that. And I asked for a solution, and I got it. I'm telling you, man. That the solution I got came from the Creator, man. He said, buy you a AI software, buy an AI program, and then just I took it from there. He just gave me breadcrumb instructions. Okay, do this, do that, do this, do that, and I did it, and I almost got almost all of the OAHSPE uploaded, feed it into that AI, and just go to town, man, asking all kinds of questions. I still haven't figured out how to show that to y'all, actually. Matter of fact, I may try it right now. Even though I don't like to start dancing on video, because that's when things happen. Now, let me try. Let me see. No, I better not do it, man. Better not do it. I see. I I better not. I better not right now. I just have to wait until after the video so I can. What I want to do is show you in living color what I am talking about. So far as with, you can ask the AI questions. You can research the whole document that you uploaded, and just you can really lay it. And I'm thoroughly convinced that this type of AI is so that we can learn even more faster. And also, I can't fail to include that I did suffer a rebuke for my hubris of approaching the Creator like that. Basically busting into the throne room and in the middle of a meeting, and demanding this, and Creator, he let it be known that you're not to approach him that way. Don't approach him that way. Although he granted my request, that's not the way to approach the Creator. The way to approach the Creator is from the standpoint of humility, lowliness of mind, and from honor and respect. So sometimes, in your ignorance, you can commit you know, you can make you can do some things the wrong way. Let me see. AceNet says the real Gnostic warrior has a video where he said he asked the Most High a question and received a quick answer. It's a video about UFOs. Yeah, I perceived that since Creator, he said that we was going to start that angel visitations were going to be more common. I think I did, I believe that that's on the horizon for us. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that these are, we're the people that are, from what I understand, we're basically the people that's at the we're the forefront at the of the Cosmin era. Basically, the brethren, we're, I guess, like the first century church. To give you a comparison of the people who we are is basically we're the first generation, I would say, first, maybe second generation of the creator in the cosmic era, where he's going to bring about a change that is time for the end of the kingdom of man. And by the way, if I may say so, brethren, again, now matter of fact, let me show you. First of all, here's my mom's food ministry, where I try to target orphans, and I try to target disabled people and elderly. And I'm telling you right now, man, if I ever find out about somebody in this type of situation, and I'm called upon to do something, I will do it. I will do it, man. If you give me the opportunity to help out, here's my room. There are other rooms that Faith this brethren have as well. Here's another one where if you want, this Faith this brethren. Here's another one. Um, let's see. Here's another one. Now that's funny because, yeah, here's another one. You make note of it, join it, and uh, fellowship. And I like to try to share. Oh, I didn't share the tab. Just right here. I like to try to share in all these rooms and try to find things that I read and then go about. I love just trying to share it with brethren. And so these are one of three rooms you can send Brother Omi in, friend invite, so you can come in. These three rooms. And then here's my room right there. So these things are the creator. I'm really doing Fritz! 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 That's the name of a man. When you need something done right, quickly, you name him Fritz! Like, Fritz! Fritz! Can you take care of that situation? Fritz! Somebody call Fritz! Fritz! I love that name, man. I'm sorry. I love that name. All right. So anyway, I wanted to show y'all something real quick. Now, the couple of days, or yesterday, or a couple of days ago, or something, I don't know. And I was sharing about geopolitical events in the world going to is going to affect you and me. Okay, and the OAHSPE talks about it. And I think I may even touch on it in the reading tonight. Now, look at this. Now, this is from a brother who he has the spirit on him to watch the world. And, there's all kind of spirits watching the Middle East. Now, you brethren know that, right? The reporting spirits, and I'm talking about, these are brethren, they don't know anything about the OAHSPE, I'm taking advantage of their spirit to look at the world and to tell me, I'm the type of brother, I want to know what's coming, I don't like to be caught off guard and my pants down. You know what I mean? I want to know, I want to try to know so I can get in a good stance. You know what I mean? I want to know what's coming, man, so I can see what the creator got to say about it. Right? Now I got some on the screen here. And this is a brother that's he's he's an Uzian. He's not into he's a Christian. And really, it's Christianity is just life insurance for this type of brother. Now, I don't want to sound harsh, man. But he has the spirit on him, like a lot of Uzians do. A lot of droogs. They like to see, they really be hoping they want to see some action. You know what I mean? A lot of them want to see action. They want to see something exciting. They want to see a war. You know, they want to see what can this weapon do. Okay, they got this new missile here. And this damn thing. It can evaporate people. And man, I can't wait to see that damn airplane. It can carry a bomb that'll blow up Japan and half of China. And that's the way people really think, man. See, Dave says, hmm. Actually, we are seventh era Faithists because there are always groups. Yeah, you're right, brother. Let me post that. Yeah, yeah, thank you. We were always here. We were never not here, you know. So actually, yeah, that's a good part. I'm just reading it again. I can get that down in my spirit. There are always groups of Faithists in all areas. Yeah, that's right. You know, we were Israelites. We were Zarathustrians, Vedans, or however you spell that, Oralites, spiritualists, different names, different eras. So that's a good point. Yeah. So now, anyway, this here, the screenshot that I'm showing you that I'm showing you this to so that you can see. Now, I ordinarily wouldn't do this, right? But if the situation is, if it is the very brink of something, all right, I feel an obligation to let you know. I feel an obligation to let you know. And we're in this situation recently. I don't know if you brother know that recently there was a man assassinated who was real beloved of Iran, and he was killed on Iranian soil, and Israel did it. And so this follows a string of assassinations that Israel has done, and they do it because they know. See, as I was saying, if I may digress for a second, I can't stress enough, and the OAHSPE it's changed my mind on people like Benjamin Netanyahu. The OAHSPE has really changed my mind, you know, to stop hating people like that. Stop it, man. You know, he's anointed to do what he's doing. He's going to, from my best, highest light, he is going to help bring in the new reality. He is going to help. He's only doing what he is, the vibration that he's under, and it's part of the plan to end the Uzzian Drujaz dynasty, and he's just part of the plan. And right now, and he's the perfect piece to do it. They spent years talking about Israel, spent years grooming America to, what's a good word for, to control it, to manipulate it, to subjugate it. They've been working a plan to buy off the government. It's coming to full fruition now. So we're at a point now where this prime minister has concluded in his heart that America is in enough of a state of disarray that he can spring into action, knowing that he can do whatever he wants to try to do a land grab, implode. Yeah, thank you, Asenat. Yeah, perfect word. He has concluded. He is at such a point. And remember, this man's a Scorpio, and they have a very deep insight into. They have a very deep insight into to people. I want to say human nature, but there is no. Well, he has a very you know what I mean, very good uh, perception. There's a good word for people who know how to read other people. And he has that. And it's concluding that now is the time to fulfill a lot of agendas in his carnal point of view, meaning uh, uh, the advantages, the benefits outweigh the risks of doing what he's doing right now. If he succeeds, then he will annex Gaza. That means that they will be able to open up a waterway to Europe to do trade. There is an oil field that lies off of Gaza. There is, uh, and basically, those are like the main benefits of him. That's the agenda that is being hidden from the rest of the world of why he's doing what he's doing and trying to drive those people out of that area. The other agenda, hidden agenda of why this man is doing what he's doing in his own eyes is to stay out of prison. He knows that if he doesn't keep the conflict going, that he will go to jail on corruption charges. So the creator has set the situation up perfectly. He set the situation up perfectly for this time that we're in, Pluto going into Aquarius, the Cosmic era. And all of it is for the end of the kingdom of man. I'm just trying to show you how he's doing it. Well, now this guy, he's assassinating other people. He don't really care. He got nothing to lose. He knows that America, no matter what they say, they got. It's like you know, we have to get involved. He knows it now. Hey man, I can do anything I want, and they may talk all they want about how they ain't gonna do nothing, but they're going. I'm gonna force them. They gonna have to help me if all these nations attack me, so I can do whatever the hell I want, and I'm gonna do it because I know they're gonna have to back me up. We already are sending. We have sent like 12 warships over there, so we don't do stuff like that for nothing. So in all this that I am saying, we are getting the creator, his hand is he's withdrawn his angel from that area. I'm convinced. Them angels have been withdrawn. And when that happens, you brethren, you know what's coming, right? You know what's coming. That means conflict is coming. And on this level, nations, they got weapons that will, you know what I mean? I hate to even put that vibration out there, but you know I'm telling the truth. See, that's the world you live in. And most people are caught up. It's the perfect storm. It's always been. People love to be distracted and, you know, entertainment and the movies. And now you got the Olympics and you even got football season starting up again. And so people don't really care too much about that sort of thing. You brethren are here the listening to a brother trying to share the word of light, just like faith as they always do. They always can be found somewhere near the light, no matter what's going on in the world, man. They just don't care. They can't care. Not that's kind of harsh, but they done left the world. I'm confident in saying that because the same thing that's in me is in you, brother. We brothers and sisters for real, man. And I don't know about y'all, but you know, I, you know, if I may say something, let me say something, you know, let me say something. I remember, I remember, now I'm going to just say it to make a point. Okay. I don't like to do this too often, but I'm going to do it where, now when I was in high school, I made the JV team, the junior varsity, and I sat the bench. I never played. I did, but I didn't. And do you know I was the happiest dude in the world? I was the happiest dude in the world. Why? Because you're part of a select few, you know. You're part of a select few. And then you can go all your life saying how great you were when you weren't nothing. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but it is an accomplishment. But as a faithist, man, I feel like I'm in the pros. I feel like I'm in the pros, man. That's how special I feel that the to be able to be noticed by the creator, that he puts that vibration on you. I feel like, man, I can't believe I'm in the major leagues. Now, you brother may not feel that way. I'm just trying to relate to you, how I know that you brother feel the same way, and your heart of hearts that you got to feel unique, that the creator, he's actually saying that of all people in the world, he has a people. He takes notice of them. He puts his spirit in them so that they'll attain to his voice. They'll attain to his voice. And then we read in the story of Hog how, well, we were reading where Brahma and Yuta, they jumped the line right into Nirvana. They jumped the line, man. I can't understand that. And now you have to conclude that the creator, he could be showing you what may very well become of you. Now that may mean nothing to you, brother. But it knocks me out, man. You know, if there's something that can happen on the earth that just blesses your soul, then that, in your heart, man, that ain't nothing compared to the creator. See, that ain't nothing at all, man. That's the way I think, man. That's all I'm saying. That keeps you going if you can believe it. See, look, emergency alert. Iran to launch 1,000 missiles and this guy's information I found to be pretty good. His information is pretty good. There's some of these guys, they got inside information. Now, if this happens, if this is, and it's supposed to be imminent, all right? So I'm sharing this with you, brethren, man, so that we can decide, we can settle this stuff in our heart. We shouldn't be ignorant about what's going on around us. You know what I mean? So consider in your heart, man. So what if something like this were to jump off? What if it come home to us? What's going to be our mindset? You know, are we prepared for? Not that we have to be afraid. It's useless to be afraid or fear. I don't believe atheists. They don't really have time for that. I can't see that. I just think we too preoccupied. But I think if the creator, if he allows something, then we should be able to, we have to acknowledge it one way or another. So anyway, I just want to share this event right here. Now I'm going to go to my room real quick, share a couple verses, and then go into the reading some things. Now here's the Bible study on Wednesday that I like to share in case brethren who, you might be interested in the Bible study. So I'm scrolling kind of fast. And then if you want to stop the video, just take the information down. And you might want to consider joining. And if you like fellowship like I do, then, we have a lesson every Wednesday, talk to one another. So if you want, you just stop the video. Here's the information. And okay, so that's that. Now let me look at a couple of verses that I shared in the with the AI, the study that I do through the AI, using AI. Now here's just something that I found. I forget where I found it. I think I found this in a study came up in the AI. A study, this summary came up. I might have asked it a question, or I don't know. I don't remember how it came up, but I posted it and said, in the cosmic era, thousands of individuals will receive divine light and talents to spread the commandments of the Creator. They will be born skeptical of ancient beliefs, but will be wise, charitable, open-minded. Once the Western continent is fully inhabited. That's the Western continent. When it is fully inhabited, like right now, a new order will triumph over the old, leading the establishment of the Creator's kingdom on earth. See, that's where we are right now. Most of the world don't know that this is the marching orders that we are under right now. And that's the reason for the destabilization and the conflict to come. Before you get rid of the old, before you bring in the old, man, you got to clear out the new. Well, we witnessing what may very well be the Creator's plan to clear out the new. Remember, we read in the Bible. Remember, you don't put old wine into new bottles. It's like when people move into a house in this reality, what do? They clean it out. They fumigate it. They clean it out. They totally redo in the White House, when a new administration moves in, first thing the first lady does, she gets rid of every damn thing. She puts her own flavor on it. Creator, he do the same thing when it's in spiritual. He sweeps the house clean, man. And then he brings in the new wine. See, the new wine. And then another verse. This comes from a summary of the book of Micah. Summary of the book of Micah, chapter 19. Just a summary, And when you do AI, what I like to do is, I like to ask for a summary of all the chapters of the OAHSPE. Ask for all the chapters of the OAHSPE. Give you like a quick overview. And then you can decide what you want, what you like, and then you can start studying it. See, this is chapter 19 of the book of Micah right here. So you can read that. And, I got a couple more books to download of the OAHSPE. Well, and I'll be home free. I have the whole OAHSPE Bible made up into a file, and then I can just go in and check it, see what I want to read, and share it with you, brethren. And that's where I get the kick. I get the kick out of it, because I know how important it is for us to get, we need information. Then here's chapter 18, and this is what chapter 18 is all about. See? Now you can read all that if you want to. And then you got chapter 16, and then you can read all this. Hey, Mahalia. Hey, sister. How you doing? You doing okay? How's my cancer doing? Is you in a good? Is how you feeling? Is everything cool? And here's the book of Micah, chapter 16. Summary of the book of Micah. Summary book of Micah. Pick out what you want. You can refer to something. Okay, good, Mahalia. Great. Glad to hear it. Cancer. Some days they have good days. Some days they have the blues. But that's part of what makes them beautiful people. The depth of their emotions. And then here's the book of Micah, chapter 15. So now if you want, you can just go to the book of Micah. See what it talks about here? Book of Micah. You can go there now. See? Now, if I were to come up with judgment, and I'm going to come up with all the books and do the summaries on them, so that we can see, now you can just go to a section. Oh, okay, it talks about Anahaja was initially wild and crazy. Now I'm going to go, where is that at? I want to check that out. See there? Here's Dave's videos. I did look at the glitches in the Matrix. I couldn't really get with it, To me, it's like, it was interesting the way he talked about what's, weird coincidence. They weren't coincidence. He mentioned one time where he talked about the weirdness of life, how he, I guess he had a vision or some dream, or he said he saw himself helping somebody move, and they asked him to move the mattress upstairs. He did that. And then they said, can you help us move the dresser upstairs? He said, and he went to do it. The dresser, it ended up falling on him, And then he woke up, and the next day they asked him if he could help move some stuff in the house. He went over. He said he helped them move the mattress. He said, "But I can't help you with that dresser." And then when the priest that was there asked him why, he said, and the whole movie was like that. It was incidences, unexplainable phenomena, and the title of the movie is called "Glitches in the Matrix." You might like it. I couldn't really get with it, because to me, I find a real, even though I'm a faithist, there are some things I'm skeptical. I don't know. Maybe you might like it. And then I haven't seen Cal's video yet. I plan to though. But and then here's something else that I posted. And Am and I went over that. And I wanted to look at the other things that I didn't get a chance to. Here's something that I shared. I don't think I got to this, so let me read it real quick before I get to the video. It says, "Nevertheless, the Creator created a great man." I think I talked about this. The unbeliever, the unbelieving man, how he was lifted up. As long as he wasn't in deity worship, that's the only thing right there, man. The natural man. See, that's what Hog was in the story we read yesterday. He got lifted up. He like a true. You know what? In thinking about Hog yesterday, I ended up having respect for him. I respect the man who he say he don't believe. He just being true to himself. He needs more proof. He needs something that only the Creator can give him. And when he's converted, see, that was the beauty of the story of Paul. He ended up getting converted. Meaning he ended up starting to see spiritually. He was true to himself. Just because everybody could see things spiritually and he couldn't, he didn't budge. He did not just agree because everybody else saw what he couldn't see. He didn't just fall in with them. He was true to himself. No, I can't see what y'all talking. No, I don't see no demons. What? You lost the book out there? So what? Demons? I don't see them. I'm going to get it. Brahmin said, "No, I'll go." Hog said, "No, you old and I'm young and fresh. I'll do it." Said he took some money. He knew they wouldn't have took it. Ended up using it to buy a horse for his mom to ride on because she was frail. And he was the unbeliever in this story. Hog. And so at the end of it all, you have to conclude the man, see, it even says it here, why the unbelieving man was lifted up. Nevertheless, the Creator created a great man among these, and that's the unbelieving man. He is neither gold nor silver nor house nor land. In other words, he's free of materialism. It's not the high thing in his life. He is without spiritual sight or spiritual hearing, but his glory is in understanding his own understanding. He admits to himself. He doesn't just fall in with everybody. He's true to himself. And then it says, he is the one who subdues the forest. He tames the beasts of the field to man's service. The man is without fear, man. I mean, he's a man who does for himself. He's not dependent on other people. That's the type of man the Lord seems to, the Creator, he seemed to respect that man. He said he goes alone in the dark, fearing nothing, He does not follow the course of any man, but he searches for himself, see. He don't take nobody's word for it. He said the priest cannot make him believe, nor can the angels of heaven. None can subdue his judgment. He sees the glory of the earth in manhood. He calls to the multitude, saying, "Why do you permit others, even priests, to think of you? Arise and be a man, arise and be a woman." And the AI said the selected text discusses the characteristics of an unbelieving man, but he possesses a unique strength in his understanding, in his own understanding. This man is independent. He's unswayed by external influences like priests or heavenly beings, and encourages others to think for themselves and embrace their individuality. He is fearless, self-reliant. He values critical thinking and empowerment in shaping beliefs and actions. Yeah, see, critical thinker. You know, we got powerful brethren in the faithless community. They got the gift of critical thinking. I think all of you got that. You got to have it one way or another. You know, Ace Neck, you got a pretty big degree of that. Created a really blessed. I mean, I'm talking about when you share it with us, the pictures of Jesus Christ. I just thought that was Dave. I, I just thought that was just explosive, man. The pictures of Jesus Christ, the power of wisdom, of deception, Luamon, Jesus, and art. If you're listening, I'm ready to go into the reading. The video is where I wanted to talk to you. I didn't get a chance. I didn't get much of a chance to talk to you when you came here. I hope you're listening. I'd like for you to check in the chat if you don't mind, if you listen. Okay, here's another verse I didn't get a chance to share or talk about. Maybe I'll do it another day. So I'm just highlighting it so I can so I can stick and move. Time for the reading of the video. Here's an interesting thing it's going what the world don't know about today. It says the spirit of my voice they put aside, but words they retain. Talking about the beast kingdom. It says the spirit of my voice they put aside. The words they retain, they added earthly meaning to it. See, that's origin right there. That's spiritualizing the scripture. They added earthly meaning to them. His words, the Creator's words. He said, by which they proclaim darkness for light, light for darkness, and the poor and distressed who worship me in truth and in spirit have learned to hate these established words. See there? That's why brethren are coming against Christianity, because the Creator, he's now exposing the beast kingdom. He said, for which reason they are persecuted. Brethren who subscribe to the truth, the faith is. He says, for which reason they are persecuted, bound, taxed, despitefully used. Yes, they impress in the service of war those who would not kill because of their natural love for me and my created sons and daughters. Thus they take these from their kindred, saying to them, come away from peace and kill. Be a slayer of men. Be a soldier of death for the glory of the king. Patriotism. Don't you love this country? You mean you don't like the flag? You gonna let them get away with that? Here, take this gun. Follow me. Look at this big tank we got. Look at this airplane. Look at it drop that bomb. 5,000 pounds, man. My sister's posting on the metaphysical meaning of words in the Bible. So let me go ahead with the reading of the word. It's time to the time for the reading of the word. One more verse. All of this is good, man. They have bound themselves in their own bulwarks. They shall be talking about false everything, God's servants, everything. They have bound themselves in their own bulwarks. They shall be my labors. I don't know. It's not talking about faith, that's for sure. It seems false gods are in the picture here. They have bound themselves in their own bulwarks. They shall be my labors thousands of years to undo the evil they have sowed on the earth. You see that? Our leaders, people, history, the evil that they have done, they got to undo that. Look at that. Undo the evil they have sowed on the earth. That's why we can have a different attitude toward people who are engaged in all kinds of trouble and evil and conflict. Man, you don't really want that for anybody, really. So it ain't no room for personal feelings and, evil and hatred. And there just ain't no room for that, man. It just ain't, when you see that the Creator he's no joke, nor shall they look down from heaven and see with joy their temples and pyramids, but as one sees a coal of fire burning in the flesh, so shall their edifices cry out to them forever. You false one. And it shall be to them a burning fire that shall not die out. You're not going to forget it, man. thousands of years, man, and you constantly thinking about them, what you did, you know? And their great learning, even of the stars, sun, moon, and all of the things of the earth and its water shall pass away and not be remembered among men. Yes, the names of their men of great learning shall go down with none to remember them on the earth, and in time long after, nations of peoples will forget them and their wisdom, and even pity them. All the great men, the emperors, the conquerors, presidents, prime ministers, rulers, pity them and say of them, what a foolish people. But my chosen, who are their slaves, and are as nothing in the world, shall speak, and their words shall not be forgotten. They shall write, and their books shall be a new foundation in the world. You hear that? Because my hand shall be upon them. My wisdom shall come forth out of their mouths. How do you like that? Huh? How do you like that? Time for the reading of the word. This is the book of ES, which is spirit. Now, Art, I'm just, assuming that you're listening. I'm assuming that I hope you're listening. I'm addressing you because you came today and we were talking, and I was trying to share with you about what it's all about Christianity, about the beast kingdom, but like I was saying earlier, man, if if you gotta, I can't. All I'm doing, all if I can just only read these words. They have a certain anointing on me. They got a vibration on me. It may mean nothing to you. These are, I don't want to say they're just words in a book, but all I can do is show you what I believe is from the Creator. But if it's not in you, brother, I can't, there's nothing I can do. You have to be able to see something. I hope that you can see something, you know. If anyone can do it, the creator, he can do it. So I'm going to read what I'm just going to do. I just looked for a place where I could try to expose Christianity. All right. Now, I'm sure my brethren here, they can do a better job. They can show me even better books. They can make a better argument by far than I can. I'm just going to do the best I can. So I hope if you're not listening now to the video, at some point you will listen to it. If you come by again to my apartment, I'm going to make you listen. I'm not going to make you listen, but you know what I mean? I'm going to hope that you listen. Now, this is from the OAHSPE Bible. This is the chapter is, now ES stands for spirit. I'm not going to explain everything, but if I see you again and you have questions, I'll answer them. Okay, now for right now, I'm going to read this. You'll notice I'm not going all the way to the very start. I'm jumping in the middle here to try to get to the point as best I can about what the Creator has to say about Christianity and who is behind it. But may the Creator bless the reading of His Word, chapter 8, the book of ES in the OAHSPE Bible, says of God of Paradise. Verse 1, it says, ES said, now spirit, all right, I'm going to translate some of the words as I go along for your understanding. It says, Spirit said, after the light of Jehovah came to God, saying, go provide mortals to cross the ocean. And it's talking about the Atlantic, right? To build up the Western continent, that's America, Western Hemisphere, America. God ceased striving to redeem the four heavenly kingdoms of the false god, but directed his energies toward regaining a broader earth anchorage for the sake of Jehovah's kingdom. Okay, now when it says God ceased striving to redeem the four heaven, now notice this is God, not the creator. Creator creates gods. It says God ceased striving. The God over the region who had authority over the four heavenly kingdoms, it's like he gave up. he didn't, they don't give up, but they just withdraw themselves. So here is saying that God, it's like, okay, you guys don't want it. Okay, forget it then. I'm going to step back. It says here, God ceased striving to redeem the four heavenly kingdoms of the four false gods. Okay. It's talking about Hindu, Buddhism, Mohammedanism, and Christianity. He ceased striving to redeem them. All right. It says, but directed his energies toward regaining a broader earth anchorage for the sake of Jehovah's kingdom. That's America. It's like he let the everything east of the Atlantic Ocean. It's like he just said, forget it, man. I'm gonna go ahead to a bigger continent, and I'm gonna start there. It says, so God sent down from paradise one Melchizedek, crowned as Lord with 10,000 angels in his command to inspire migration to Guatemala, which is America. Okay, so now the Creator, his plans are for America now. Going to turn his attention to America using his appointed God to get his plan, his agenda going over here. And to make the country known to the Eastern peoples. So now he's going to reach over to Genoa, Italy. He's going to grab Columbus and send him over here. And Melchizedek, and with his host, came and ascertained the grade and choice of mortals for this purpose. And Melchizedek and his host raised up one, Columbus, a mortal from Genoa. That's Genoa, Italy. Where is Christopher Columbus from? Genoa, Italy. Okay. It's fun to see, to confirm the OAHSPE. It's a lot of fun, And then it says, a mortal from Genoa, all right, together with crews sufficient in number, whom they inspired to go with ships to the west across the ocean in search of the lay and plan of the world. So now, Creator, he's telling us what we don't learn in schools. He raised up Columbus. He inspired them, sufficient in number, and they were inspired to go with ships to the west. And actually, the story, this is kind of confusing, I mean, I think I get it, but then actually, he was blown off course, wasn't he? Somebody help me, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Columbus blown off course? And actually, he discovered a protectorate of the United States. Wasn't he blown off course? Wasn't it Vespucci, Americanus or whatever his name is that discovered America? See, wasn't it who? Okay, you know what I mean? I mean, I subscribe to the Creator, but there's a conundrum here. Who actually discovered America proper? Okay, now we know that the natives, okay, that they were the people of the original, but there was somebody else who history says discovered like America, the continent where we are. There was somebody else, and I think his name was Vespucci something. Forget it. I'm just going to go with the OAHSPE, and I wanted to. Columbus fits in there. Crater says he was the one that was used, but actually the geographical landmass I think that he came across was like an island or something, if I'm not mistaken. Again, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but he was given credit for, I guess, since that was like a piece of America, you might say, you know what I mean? That he's given credit because it paved the way for others to come over, right? Let's just leave it at that. And it said, and it came to pass that Colombo, thus inspired of God through his holy angels, did discover the Western continent, not knowing he was under inspiration. I gotta find this guy, man. Give me one more chance, okay? Amerigo Vespucci. Okay, what is it with him? It's okay. Oh, he was a Pisces. Was an Italian explorer and navigator from the Republic of Florence, from whose name America is derived. Participated in 2 voyages, first had 2 booklets, alleged voyages. Historians dispute the authorship veracity. Vespucci claimed to have understood back in 1501. Brazil was a part of the 4th continent unknown, New World, Brazil. Uh, Latinized form of America. Okay, so he might have discovered Brazil, all right, without really looking into it hard. Creator says Colombo did it, so I'll go with the creator. Now, it says it was shortly after this that the angel host from Etheria came down to the throne of God in paradise to labor with him in providing for the approach of the cosmic era. Now, Etheria art is a realm of highly developed former human beings, highly spiritual, elevated spiritual beings who were humans, and they live in a place called Etheria, if you can receive it. It says they came down to the throne of God, who was a mortal raised up and is now is I'm not sharing. Sorry. So was a mortal, the angel, the angel host from Etheria, that's a higher realm than the throne of God that they come down to in paradise to labor with him and providing for the approach of time period we're in right now called the cosmic era, where everything is going to change and the creator is going to do away with the beast kingdom known as the religions of the world. It says, now while God and his angels in the heavenly kingdom of paradise were rejoicing because of the success of Colombo, which had been reported by Melchizedek to God, behold, it was in that time, the same time that the Etherean ship of Leda Bactrava arrived. And God received the Ethereans with great rejoicing, and after due ceremonies, God declared, now this is God, this is the one who's implementing, preparing the Western Hemisphere for the eventual manifestation of the kingdom of God on earth. This is who the Creator is using to bring about his plans for the Western Hemisphere, where we are right now. And it's saying, and God received the Ethereans, these higher raised beings. They come to help him. He receives them with great rejoicing, and after due ceremonies, God, make a note of the difference between this God and Ethereans. God and Ethereans. I mean, gods and goddesses are part of this place called Etheria. This particular God is come to establish the manifestation of the Creator in the OAHSPE to the Western Hemisphere. That's what this process is talking about right here, for understanding's sake. It said God, who is from Etheria, this God, according to my highest light. See, Dave says, yep, Columbus, 3 ships, painted. Yep, but, oh, okay, he came later, Vespucci. Okay, all right, good enough. So it says, let me post that. So it says, God declared a recreation of 3 days so that the angels of paradise could rejoice before Jehovah, because the AG, which is the darkness, that's the darkness of the ignorance that's come over our land, the spiritual darkness, the AG of so many hundreds of years was breaking away. And it's even, I perceive, in this time that we are in right now that is still breaking the AG, the spiritual darkness. That's why people are not receiving from my purview the OAHSPE and other spiritual revelations are really not highly valued because the AG is not completely gone. It's a time of just spiritual darkness, but it's breaking up. It says the AG of so many hundreds of years was breaking away because of Columbo's success. When did Columbo 92? So at that time, the AG was beginning to break away. And then 400 years later, 400, 300, give or take a few, we had the advent of the Cosmic Era, 1849. So that's like nearly 400 years later, we had the advent of the Cosmic Era. It says, great indeed were the rejoicings, the praise, the music, the glee of billions of angels of paradise. At the end of 3 days, the trumpet called the Holy Council of God to resume labor before the throne. Then the marshals from various places in God's kingdoms called their students and laborers and withdrew to their own departments. The Holy Council resumed their places before God, and God ascended the throne, and order was. So now they're getting ready to get it started. They're getting back to work. They were rejoicing. The Ethereans from the higher realm came down to help the God who was assigned the task of bringing about the kingdom to the Western continent. They partied for a little bit, and now it's time to go to work. You see, Dave says, note also that the Norsemen, the Vikings came to North America a bit before Columbus, but the native people drove them away. Norse called them scarelings. Oh, that's interesting. And they weren't anointed to bring Christianity to the Western continent so that the Creator, that's interesting, so that the Creator could use them to drive out the beast kingdom. So the Norsemen weren't appointed to settle North America. They weren't appointed. They weren't anointed. There was no purpose for them. So the Creator, he made them, he drove them away. That's interesting. That's very interesting. So now they had the Ethereans came down to help the God appointed to prepare the Western continent for the Cosmic Era. They had a little party, and now it's time to get back to work. So we pick it up. It said, then God called the Ethereans, Chanling, Tetjea, Chasen, Borno, Thetis, Etavia, Thada, Gawawa, to come and honor the throne. So these visiting gods did as commanded. Come before the throne. Okay. Come before the throne. Then God spoke, saying, what tribute, O Jehovah, can I pay to your son, Lita Baka Thrava? Provide to me and my holy council for the light and glory of his presence. And at once all the holy council, 1 million, rose to their feet. Then all the gods rose up. God said, come honor my throne. Now just stay with me. Stay with me. This little dry reading right now, it's going to pick up. Let me just stay with me. Art, just stay with me. Lita Bakatrava walked up and sat on the throne of God. When he was seated, God commanded all the rest to be seated. Then Lita Bakatrava rose up and said, you have given me great honor, O God of the earth and her heavens. May the light of the person of Jehovah. Now, Israelite who's debating the OAHSPE, they would make a lot of, I'm digressing for a second. An Israelite will make a big issue of the person of Jehovah, because we don't proclaim Jehovah as a person. But I'm sharing that for mainly our brethren to show how, and as far as I know, they haven't picked up on this. They haven't picked up on this type of language yet, from what I have seen. To point to it and try to say that Jehovah was a man, just like their God. But you can better believe that they will make an issue out of this statement here, but it can't be received the way it's stated. It has to only be received for conversational sake. And person doesn't always mean, you know what I mean, like corporeality. It can very well represent the, you know what I mean, the acknowledgement, simply the acknowledgement of Jehovah. It says, may the light of the person of Jehovah be drawn upon all the kingdoms of heaven and earth. It says, yet, O God, do not be puffed up with the hope of sudden success. I've seen many corporeal worlds arrive at the Cosmic Era. The Cosmic Era is something that started in 1849. It's a time of thorough change, paradigm shifting, a departure from the kingdom of man. A thorough departure began in 1849, and the beginning of man's sensitivity to spiritual, to the afterlife, that sort of thing. That's what's called the Cosmic Era. Knowledge increase, tech, brotherhood of man on a different, represented differently. Cosmic Era is a total change of our reality. That's what that word is when you read it. It says, but it is like a new birth brought forth in pain, talking about the Cosmic Era. It's like a new birth brought forth in pain and with much labor. See, that's why we see things like this are happening right now. It's like a new birth. We're preparing for a new birth brought forth. He says it is brought forth in pain. Brought forth in pain. Oh, that's the wrong. Sorry about that. That's the wrong. The wrong screen. I clicked off on the wrong screen. Now I can't find the right screen. See that, man? That's why you got to stop that dancing, man. Oh, got to stop doing those dances, man. Okay, this is it. A new birth. It's like a new birth. The new reality, the end of Christianity, the end of Jesus Christ's deception. It's going to be like a new birth brought forth in pain. New birth, do it one more time. A new birth brought forth in pain. See, that's why headlines like this, we're seeing more and more of it. We're seeing more and more of it. It is like a new birth brought forth in pain with much labor. It says, you have several generations of mortals yet to be born before Cosmin comes. Before 1849, there had to be several generations of mortals yet to be born before Cosmin comes. Before it comes. So it's not here yet in its literal form. Although the Cosmic Era, it can be problematic because, see, number one, the Beast Kingdom hasn't been destroyed yet, but we're in the Cosmic Era. You know, I don't want to confuse anyone, but there are several. It says you have several generations of mortals yet to be born before Cosmic comes. Because see, Columbus discovered America, or actually, yeah, okay, I'm wrong. Columbus discovered America, at which time this is referring to, and that was 1492, and Cosmin didn't come until the 1800s. So yeah, this is right. You have several generations of mortals yet to be born before Cosmin comes. So this is before Cosmin came. Okay, thank you, Creator. Corrected me. The four dark horns of the lodge will bound upon you to destroy the work of your hand and Jehovah's. It says, the four false gods will fight you to the death. Only after they go down in hell can Jehovah's kingdom come. Okay. So that's is referring to the religion, really. Religion will fight you to the death. Only after they go down in hell can Jehovah's kingdom come. So that's where we are right now. And it could very well be, if I may, at the risk of being redundant, it could very well be that it's talking about this. It could be this very well could be the hair trigger that the Creator is going to use to put an end to the four false gods. We don't know. We wait to see the four false gods. That's why Christianity, Jesus, the deception of Jesus, the deception of religion, they are going to be, it says here, the Creator says he's going to bring them down in hell. See? And then Jehovah's kingdom can come. It says on all the planetary worlds, it's always saying, certain four false gods rise up to possess the corporeal parts and her heavens. It says they will profess truth but practice falsehood, profess peace but practice war. See, isn't that something? Profess peace but practice war. That's been the history of the Western continent. That's been the history. They will profess peace, but practice falsehood. And if I may digress for a second, that's capitalism right there. That's capitalism. I hate to sound harsh, man, but that's where we live. That's our form of government. They profess truth, but they practice falsehood. Laws are for the common people, but not for the ruling people. They profess truth, but they practice falsehood. They profess peace, but they practice war. That's talking about our form of government. That's talking about democracy. See, we talk pretty good. We talk a good game, and that's how you subdue people. You can subdue people quickly by like sounding like humbling yourself, sounding like, self-deprecation. Politicians are real good at that. They make fun of themselves, and then when you are looking the other way, they counting their money. We're easily duped. We're easily duped. And they know that. These people they don't fear the Creator. They don't talk about the Creator. They don't show the character that the Creator, he wants people to be. And these people are Christians. Look at the result of Christianity. This is the result of Christianity right here. Look at that. It's the war between Christians and Mohammedanism right there. If this is actually, this don't even need to come true. What I'm showing you on the screen, to know that what I'm saying is what the OAHSPE is saying is true, because there's a history of conflict between Christians and Muslims. And this is just very well may be the culmination right here. This may be the trigger. This may be what sets things in motion for the kingdom of man to finally to come to its conclusion. See? Talking about Christianity, man, talking about the worship of Jesus Christ, his people, the fruits that it has borne. It says they will incite mortals and angels to all. Who will? Who will? The four false gods. They will incite mortals and angels to all manner of evil for the sake of thwarting Jehovah's person and proceedings. See, so that's the real reason for fighting and conflict is to thwart Jehovah's, the creator, to thwart his person and proceedings. It says, yes, they will even yet assume that they themselves are Jehovah, the veritable creator, and they will inspire mortals to consider them as much. Gonna make people going to make them to by psychological subterfuge get people to consider them as there ain't gonna be no difference between false gods and creators. Really. See, it's a Jedi mind trick, isn't it? You know, you allude to something, you kind of lead people to think one way, like Jesus Christ, even though he talked about, I came to show you the Father, but people, who do they worship? Who do they see? They look at him, they worship him. See, it's like the focus is not, it doesn't lead you to the creator. And people don't know that the deception that is Jesus Christ is pointing to Luamon. That was his father, Luamon. Christ, which means all knowledge. That's why Luamon took on that name, because it means all knowledge. See? So it can sound like he's pointing you to the creator, but it's not until too late that people who are under the beast will see that they will go to the beast. See? Deity worship. The danger of Jesus Christ, the deception Jesus, not the wise, power, wisdom Jesus that's pictured in the Bible. See, if you cannot receive that there are like 3 or 4 different Jesuses, and that sounds kooky alone right there. That'll close people's ears right there saying that. That'll close people's ears, right? But it's a delicate fine line that faith is walk, trying to delineate the historical narrative of Jesus Christ. It's a narrow road, man. It says, and when your people profess Jehovah and not them, when your people profess Jehovah and not them, behold, they will inspire. In other words, if you start talking about you believe in the Creator, let me translate this. It says when people start believing in the Creator and not false gods, not the beast kingdom, then the beast kingdom is going to inspire others to fall upon you, to destroy you, to torture you. You face this with great suffering and torture. See, the false gods. It says, nevertheless, it shall come to pass with you that Jehovah shall triumph over all the earth. In the heavens of the earth, men and angels shall be free, and no one shall make them afraid. Lita Bakatrava ceased, sat down, and suddenly, now Lita Bakatrava is one of the Etherians that came down to help the god of the region of Gautama, which is the Western Hemisphere. He was the one that was saying all these words. It said he stopped, he sat down, and suddenly a great shining light gathered above his head, and a voice spoke out of the light, saying, all the earth is mine, and the waters and the air above the earth, these are members of my body and person. Man I created not to possess them, but to dwell on them and in them. To all men alike I gave these inheritances, nor to any man apart, nor to any nation of people or nation or people apart. But with liberty and privilege to these, I gave man the right to withdraw sustenance from them. See, with men, we claim things. They go to war because they want to claim what belongs to somebody else. Creator said he gave us everything that we have here on this earth so that we can draw sustenance from it, but not steal from other people. Take what is not ours. It's for all men. The Creator, he says, but with liberty and privilege to these, I gave man the right to draw sustenance and support, not so that people can die. Because you see what men will do. See? And this is Christianity. It teaches men to have dominion over their fellow man, not to share it, not to have a mind to, like we read in the story of Hog yesterday, to distribute the resources and good for the good of all. See, that's what the Creator said everything was for. It says, all men are my children. All men are my children. In the conscious being, I created them alike, privileged to all the earth. Why don't that make sense? If we came from one source, did any man, even the Bible says, did any man hate his own body? You know what I'm saying? He cherishes it. He goes to the gym, he works out, and, big muscles and, flat stomach, big strong legs, so that he can show the world he's proud of his body. You see? He takes care of his body. Now, why can't we just make a simple deduction that if we all came from the Creator, then we're all his? Does that not make sense? Why don't it make sense, man? He said, brothers and sisters, I created them of various tribes, races, colors, sizes. Nevertheless, in my own way, I created them, everyone for a glory in the way I made him. See? And all you brethren, we all got unique gifts. We all got one thing or another. And like I always like to say, your zodiac sign is your gift. That's your gift. And in life, you should have experienced other people's gifts. Now I'm digressing for a second. We should all have been able to see the Creator in people that he's brought into our life, even or for the better or for the worse. Now, there are some people, and I'm gonna be specific, man. I like to do things like what I'm getting ready to do. I know other brethren would say, man, you shouldn't talk about these things. But sometimes I feel led, in my life, now I'm not saying one is better than the other either. But from my own personal, hey, Tempo Wizard Beats, I don't know who you are, but you welcome to the room. Never seen you before, don't know who you are. I'm sharing from the OAHSPE Bible. Don't know if you've ever heard of it. Hope you can subscribe to it. New revelation from the Creator. Came out in 1860s. Primarily exposes the beast kingdom of religion. So this is not a popular room. It's not a popular subject, but I hope you can hear it. I got some links in the description area of other brethren who will do a far better job. Oh, okay. What are you? You're wanting to come on the channel? I didn't hear anything. Oh, you mean just listening? Okay. It's I have. You know what? That reminds me. I should put the link in the room. I invite brethren, if you're coming in peace and not in conflict, to come on the channel. If you have like questions you want to ask or anything or have a discussion. Oh, so you, okay, good. All right. Does that mean I can count you as a brother or a sister? I mean, well, you are already, but as a fellow faithist, do I know you? Doesn't really matter, but welcome to the room. If you want to come on the channel, just, you know. Oh, okay, you're a brother? All right. Well, in any case, it's good to see you. It's good to see you, brother. I'm addressing someone that I know who he comes to visit, and we talk from time to time about what it's all about with the OAHSPE. So I decided to make this video to address the danger of religion, and in this video, I'm pointing pretty much at Christianity. He's a Christian. I'm trying to pull him out of it, and so this video is about me trying to witness to him. So if you've been in the book 13 years, then you're already well familiar with the things I'm covering here. But welcome. Thanks for coming in. I don't know who you are, but I'm glad you're here. So let me continue. Oh, yeah, I was going to say something too about our gifts. I'm digressing for a second. And now this is just my own personal experience. But the love of the cancer, when it's new, I think it's the best thing in the world, man. The best thing in my experience. Now I'm talking about people's gifts, their gifts. And that was one of the closest things of experiencing the creator. Growing up with a cancer, my brother. And because I noticed the protection, they have a protective quality to you. And when I dated my first girlfriend, who I was intimate with, was a cancer. And that type of love probably blessed my soul more than anything I've ever experienced, in the sense that that's their gift. See, they showing you the creator and their gift, the way their gift is. We all got that. We all got a special quality. I can't emphasize that enough. Now, for other brethren, they may have a different testimony. You see? So we're reading here. It says, brothers and sisters, I created them of various tribes, races, colors, and sizes, but nevertheless, in my own way, I created them. Everyone for a glory in the way I made him. See? That means you got something unique about you that you can bless other brethren with. See, we all got it. All you got to do is tap into it. That means you got to learn yourself. Okay, now I digress. Let me get back. It says, in the early days, behold, I kept man on certain continents and places so that I can unfold him in the glory for which I designed him. And then it says, but in Cosmin, that's the time we're living in right now, I open the gates of ocean, seas. Oh, are you? Just tell me yes or no. Are you Rick? I won't say your last name. Hey, Rick, is that you? Just say yes or no. Don't say, your name or anything. Tempo, is that you, Rick? If it is, it's good to see. If not, forgive me. If that's you, man, I'd be honored, man. Okay, I'm sorry. But in Cosmin, I open the gates of the ocean, seas, and rivers, and I say to all my people, come forth, behold your brethren. Go into this country and into that. Learn wisdom from that which I proved in the family of my house. Be profitable to one another in the experience and practice of my hand upon all peoples. See? And one tallness and another shortness, and one sound teeth and bones and well-formed limbs, and another sagacity, which is intelligence. And not that everyone is dumb, and some people, just they have a marked degree of way of comprehending things. In one, it says a dense population, well-tilled lands, and another plain food and drug, or plain food and long life for plain food and long life for in Cosmin, man shall go abroad into all countries, one nation with another, and they shall profit by wisdom to bring forth a new race with all the glory selected from the whole. It says, neither shall man be bound any more by the doctrine of this God or that God. You hear that, Art? It's up to you to receive it. See, when you understand why the false gods have been set up, when you understand why the beast kingdom has been set up, man, years and years and thousands of years and now we're going to see the glory of the Creator, how He allowed the religion to be set up to trap men's souls. And I perceive, even when you read in the Bible, it talks about a gulf, there's a fix between those who were part of. I look at it like we're going to see the difference between religion and between faithists and Jehovah's his children. I think that He's going to show us. We read in the account yesterday in the story of Hog how he said, I'm going to lift the light. I'm going to lift it. They was over there, remember, the Ebon cave. And then he lifted the light and they saw all those spirits and they made a beeline for the cave. Remember, they bolted. And then one of them dropped the book and they wasn't for a billion, quadrillion, gajillion dollars going back out there to get that book because of what they saw when the light was lifted. I could be wrong, man, but it seemed like the Creator is saying that we may witness what the blessing of the Creator was for putting the vibration on us to be able to receive His light. Now, I could be wrong, and I kind of hope I am, but He gave us that example in the story of Hog for a reason. It says, neither shall man be bound anymore by the doctrines. You hear that, Art? Neither shall man be bound anymore by the doctrines of this God or that God or by this Savior, that Savior, nor by any of the ancient books, nor by inspirations of past time, but he shall know how to obtain inspirations from my gods and my heavens for his own good and for his own wisdom. See, ain't going to be no more in the faithless community. It ain't going to be nobody rising up over nobody else. That alone, you got me. I'm signing up for that. I don't want to be under the tyranny of man anymore. Please don't let me come under that tyranny. Please. Please. I don't want no more man's tyranny. I do not want, the most dangerous thing I have found in my life is like you can come to a point where you can decide to go down the dark side or you can go after the light, man. I think I can remember a particular time when I seriously considered just murdering somebody, a few people. I can't believe I'm saying that. Now, that may be a common occurrence. It was like the turning point in my life where, I really found that evil, that vibration. I did consider that. There were some people where I considered, do it, just do it. All you got to do is squeeze that trigger. You see? And that's a real vibration on people. Some people, they make that decision. The Creator don't step in, it could turn out wrong, man. You see? I think that's another thing. I think the Creator, He make you make a decision whether you're going to go down the dark side or are you going to go to the light. He puts situations on you, forcing you to make a decision. And I do believe He works with us even when we don't know it. When you're young, you in that real flammable time of life where any little slight that somebody do to you, and then you can't see no other way but to do them in. It's a very perilous time, man. I know that vibration is on a lot of people. You can see it in the world. Neither shall one nation judge another and cry out, heathen, nor one people judge another and cry out, pagan. It said, behold, I alone shall judge. My mark is upon all those that engage in war. He said, my mark is upon all those that engage in war. See, his mark, he said his mark is upon them. Do you think he's for real? Do you think the creator is for real? Or do you think he's joking around? He said, behold, I alone shall judge. My mark is upon all those that he said, all those that engage in war or who keep warriors. See there? Or who keep forts and arsenals and use weapons of death. And upon all who kill and eat the flesh of anything I created alive. For all such are pagan and heathen in my sight. Is he for real? You know? Nor shall they go from nation to nation to find evil, but find goodness, wisdom, and virtue. My God shall minister to all nations and peoples to these ends, to bring them together in peace and harmony, to open the ports of those who have been secluded nations and peoples, to persuade them to put away war and the glory of destruction, to make nations and peoples acceptable to one another. See, Art, I'm still talking to you, man. I hope you're listening. You're probably not. I wish you'd come on the chat. It's time for the ending of the reading of this word. It says, the voice of the light ceased, and all about the throne of God was like a sea of golden fire. The time for the departure of Leda Baktrava and his host had arrived. These were the Etherian gods who had come down to help the god of the Western Hemisphere to establish the events leading up to the Cosmic Era. And it says, and his host had arrived accordingly. He went down and sat at the foot of the throne, and then God descended and took his hand, saying, arise, Orion chief, Jovi's son. Go your way, the Father calls you and your people. So Leda Baktrava passed down into the arena and saluted on the sign, down Cosmic. And God answered in the sign, fortified in Jovi's name. Leda Baktrava and his host then went to the Odivan, the enormous ship with its photosphere large as a continent. Large as a continent, man. This ship. And presently, while the SNRs, those are the singers, and the trumpeters chanted, praise to the Almighty, the vessel started from its foundation, rose slowly upward and plotted by the billions assembled in paradise. Okay, I'm going to pick it up. Next week, Crater Welling, going to go down into the Western Hemisphere to the danger of Christianity. Is going to go into it more here in this next chapter here. I'll scroll it a little bit just as like a teaser for Art. If you're somehow listening to this, I'll scroll it, and it's going to bring us up to date about Christianity and how it's used in the Western continent. So, I mean, this is like it's like elementary 101 for faith. This is probably one of the first things we learned to get us up out of the beast kingdom, man. Get out of it. Don't, whatever you do, man, just don't go into that. So, just to give you some scrolling, I'm going to stay with this for a while. The book of ES. So, Art, when I see you next week, I'm, talk to you about, I'm scrolling what I'm going to be talking to you about. I'm scrolling now because I don't have any more time to go into all of this. So, all right. So that's going to conclude it. That's the best I can do for right now. I'm going to open up the channel in case anybody wants to come on and wants to greet other brethren. You want to say anything, you want to share anything, you want to talk about anything. I posted the link in the in the room. You just click on that link. I'm gonna keep it going for a couple more minutes. I'm gonna just talk, and if somebody wants to, if you want to share anything, or uh, just feel free. While I have some cinnamon tea here. Oh man, that cinnamon tea. See, Temple Wizard Beats. The judgment is rendered. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mm-hmm. Judgment is rendered against all nations and people. Somebody better tell America. I'm telling you, somebody better tell America. Somebody better tell Israel. I'm telling you, somebody better tell Russia. Somebody better tell Ukraine. Somebody better tell Europe. Somebody better tell China. Somebody better tell Africa. You see there? See? There's a tendency, the Bible talks about men count slackness. Remember that? Y'all remember that verse in the Bible? Men count slack. Dave. Thanks, brother. Praise the Creator. Praise the Creator, man. You know, y'all remember, see, this is the way men think. Hold on a second. Let me find it for you. This is really the way men think, you know. As the Lord counted slackness. God does not count slackness, King James Version. I said it wrong, but it'll know what I mean. Now look at here. See? The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but it's long suffering towards usward. Now, this part of the Bible, I believe, is true. I believe that. He said, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise. At one time, he was slack. Remember? In Acts 17, he was slack, wasn't he? He was slack. He said the times of this, you know, remember? He said the times of this, God winked at. He let it go. He was slack, man, towards our ignorance. But now here in the Bible, it says the Lord is not slack concerning his promise. And some men count slackness, but it's long suffering usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Now I think here he's talking about beast kingdom worship, about deity worship, about idolatry. I think he's talking about that. Because in many things we do fail. I'm talking about faith is too. So it ain't like, but I think that there are some things the Creator, he say he command you to repent. And I that's the biggest thing I can see is deity worship, idolatry. So Art, if you somehow listening, man, that's the best I can do. I'm gonna keep it up for the next couple of videos. I'm gonna go through that whole account in the book of ES, the Creator willing, unless he puts something else on my spirit to share with brethren. So Creator, deity worship, idolatry. That's the biggest thing that I can see right now, because partially I know what it's like because I was in it. Like a lot of us, we were in it. And I believe that he's going to show us if we can be patient, if we can endure our life, if we can attain to his voice while you in this life, while you afflicted, while you in misery, while you are oppressed, and you can still attain to the Father's voice, brother, you home free. I know you home free, man. You home free, man. And I'm sorry I'm redundant, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna keep, leave it up for about a minute. We at the weekend, no video tomorrow or Sunday. So If anybody has anything you want to share something, now's the time to do it. Art, if you listen, man, I wish you would come in or make yourself known. You probably not, but hopefully you'll come across this video. But anybody else, what's going on with y'all? Somebody, what you been learning? Has anybody been learning anything? You know, I should start calling on brethren to come in the room and give a word. You know, I might start doing it, man. I might start calling one of you brethren, man, to come on and give us a word, or just to say hi, or just to something that you learn. You brethren better get prepared, man. You know, when you least expect it, I'm gonna start calling brethren. I'm gonna put you on the spotlight, man. You know, you can't tell me that nobody don't have any praise report or anything, or you know. So you just be prepared. You just better be ready, man. I'm gonna start calling on brethren. You know, shoot. But it sure is a privilege, man, to talk to you, brethren. Very serious. I love, that's the only thing that really keeps me going. To be able to share. We can see that the Creator is letting us know. If we look at the Creator he's surely showing that this reality, this kingdom, is pretty much on borrowed time. I hate to say it, man, because there's enough of that in the world. There's also been a lot of false flags. You hear something, nothing ever comes to pass. But we in a situation right now, if I may be redundant, if you're following any kind of way what's going on, this guy over in Israel, man, he knows he's got us by the short hairs. He's got us, and he's in a vice grip. His behind is in a vice grip as well. The Creator is allowing both sides to be squeezed. We got a guy over there. He knows we got to back him up, whether right or wrong. So, and then this guy himself, he's got his butt in the fire because he can't get out of office, or he's going to prison. So the Creator is like he putting the whole world in the situation where it's like he's putting hooks in their jaws to bring them to the conclusion, so that he may come, like we read in the video today, so that he may bring about the cosmic era in its fullness. So that's the situation where we in. And we live in a world where people, their foundation, you see that people foundation, they don't have one. You go and you talk to people, you see where, Creator, he said he's going to endow us with the ability to spread the light. You know what that means? That means powers. The world respect that. All right. That's the best I can do. Man. Thank you, brother, for coming in and joining me. It really blessed my soul to see y'all. And hope that Creator willing, pick it up Monday. I'm going to pretty much be talking about the same thing in an effort to minister to the brother I was talking to, that he comes by and checks in on me every now and then, and he seems to like hearing about spiritual things. And I think by talking to him about these type of things, I'm also talking to other people who I don't know. So that's the best I can do for right now, brethren. So I'm going to go ahead and leave y'all alone, and pray for y'all, and y'all pray for me, and pray for each other, and give thanks to the Creator for the opportunity to have fellowship with one another, and pray for His protection from the events of the Drugians and the Uzzians that they are leading the world into. And so, thank you, brethren. Thank you, brethren. And want to give thanks to the Heavenly Father for this opportunity, and pray that the Creator, that He will grant that we can endure the present reality, that He blesses us with peace, love, wisdom, and light. And brethren, thank you. Till I see you again Monday, Creator willing. Shalom.